This match is a non-title bout with a one fall or a 30-minute time limit, managed by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, formerly known as the Nightmare, now from parts unknown, the champion. Currently, the North American Mid-South Wrestling Heavyweight title holder. His opponent in this one fall with a 30-minute time limit match, making his return to Houston Wrestling, Captain Redneck, weighing in at 283 1/4 pounds from Waxahachie, Texas, Big Dick Murdoch.
So, Dickie Murdoch, a veteran of the ring, is certainly a veteran of the Houston ring and all the rings in Texas, and a man who has that style that says, look, come after me and I'll knock your block off. Facing a man who was known as the Nightmare and had enough nightmare characteristics to become the North American champion. They call him now the champion. Don't be found calling him the Nightmare, or you might run into trouble. And that's the champion doing the pounding in this one-fall battle here at the Sam Houston Coliseum in Houston, Texas. And as Dickie Murdoch takes a few of those across the nose, his Semper Fidelis blood starts getting a little bit hot, and Dickie is capable of rising from the ignominy of being knocked down on his pants and blasting that mask off of his head. And Tony Olivas, well, Tony was trying to get the action under control. He stood up there, and it was, unfortunately for Dick Murdoch, the moment that he was just about to get started, and he's counting the knots on his head as the champion counts himself lucky that the blow that was aimed for him didn't make it. So Tony Olivas trying to keep the match under control. He hasn't had all the luck in the world tonight, so you can understand his frustration at suddenly finding himself with these two behemoths and not being able to keep them under control. So he's starting early. So Dick Murdoch rises up there and only to get into trouble again, and as he comes in, Tony Olivas again was unfortunate, and I say unfortunate because he stopped Dick Murdoch for a second time from a wallop that most of these fans thought he should have landed. So Murdoch gets a counseling from Olivas, and he keeps his eye on Eddie Gilbert on the outside of the ring. Gilbert, the manager of the champion. Now remember, the world title, The Champion, has been given to him as his name. Mass people have a proclivity for pinning tags on themselves, and in this case his tag is the champion. We're not claiming any other title for him other than the fact that he is now holding the prestigious North American title belt in this Mid-South area. And there goes the champion over the top rope, onto the apron and onto the floor, and Dick Murdoch stands up there and gets an ovation from these fans for the smooth manner in which he tempted the champion into the territory that permitted that wallop. Now, Eddie Gilbert is claiming that Dick Murdoch should be disqualified. This is a non-title battle, and Gilbert would like to see his man get out of there right now without any more risk of losing his reputation. Big, burly individual, the champion. Those people who know who's under that mask know that he has quite a reputation in his own right. He sometimes wrestles without a mask. But right now, in this masked period of his, he has risen to great heights in being able to annex the North American heavyweight title. So Tony makes it definite, pulls that arm down. It was a self-raised arm, so it had no meaning. He can claim all he wants, but when you're in the ring with Dick Murdoch, you'd better be careful, because when you make a claim, he'll drive a stake into it. Caught the foot, and he has the champion in a tough spot right now as he spins him around and clobbers him with that redneck fist of his. In behind, Dick Murdoch going after the mask. Dick Murdoch trying to jerk that mask up over the head of the champion, and around the ring, racing around the ring, goes Eddie Gilbert. And Gilbert is raising a confusion here, spreading a smoke screen as it was as he races around here, trying to get the attention of Dickie Murdoch. So the champion's ready. He moves into the ring, and Murdoch's ready too. No question about it. Murdoch has his own style. He says, we folks in Waxahachie, he said, we don't care about that smooth kind of wrestling. He said, we just want to do it Texas style. And there are a lot of people who agree with him. He comes from a wrestling family. His father, Frank Murdoch, was a wrestler. His uncle, Paul Murdoch, was better known as Farmer Jones from Waxahachie, a man who started the business of bringing a pig into the ring with him. Flying head scissor, and it shows that Dick Murdoch is capable of those highfalutin tactics too, but he wants that mask, and as he jerks it up over the bearded chin of the champion catches it in his teeth and chomps down on it, making him, giving himself a good solid grip on it so that it can't be pulled any higher. So as the champion moves back into the ring, Dickie's waiting. He is more than waiting. He's ready. Side headlock, and as that fist comes around, it goes walloping into the jaw and the nose and the eye of Murdoch. This time it was Murdoch who stopped the blow. This time it's Murdoch who takes advantage of it and starts to jerk that mask around. He's blinded the champion by moving that mask in front of him. That was a Murdoch-type blow, and here we have the blackest part of the mask that the champion wears down over his eyes, and he is having his problems. He's out of the ring. He is, well, he's attacking the first thing that came before him, and it happened to be his manager, Eddie Gilbert. So champion is back where he started. His nose coming out the proper place in the mask. And that means that the eye holes are ready. And he looks a little bit the worse for wear here from the pummeling that he took, mask or no mask. Does a mask protect you? Well, a certain way it could keep you from getting certain cuts over the eye or in certain places. But it isn't total protection for sure. And it doesn't minimize the blows. There comes a chair into the ring. The champion has it. It was Gilbert who threw it. And as the champion is picked up, he is, oh, look at that chair. Murdoch dropped him on the chair in atomic drop fashion. And the masked man hit it like the proverbial ton of bricks. And now as he crawls around on the canvas, Waxahachie Dick is moving in there to try to set him up and to go after him. A great move. Eddie Gilbert threw the chair in the ring. And this time Murdoch put a stop to it. Well, Murdoch that time proved that you can't get away with it all the time. He had something ready, and that mask is about ready to come off. He's pulling up on it, and again, the champion gets in there to sink his teeth into it. Bear down on the mask itself. That's a big, burly individual. That beard of his must feel twice as uncomfortable underneath that mask as it does when it's free. And here he comes racing across, trying to catch Dick Murdoch unprepared, and he may have done it. Now he's trying to set him up by throwing him into the turnbuckle, and it could work. Foot first. He reached out there with that leg of his and threw that toe of that boot into Dick Murdoch. 10 minutes have gone by, and here's the champion. Came off with a two-handed chop. The sledgehammer blow into the midsection, and Dick Murdoch caught it in a bad way. You catch those kind of blows on the top of the head, and you are having your thoughts all scrambled. And here comes the champion again, and he's tackling the job of beating Murdoch by punishing his head, hoping that he's going to be able to confuse him. Now listen to those staunch Murdoch fans. Don't have to be a Murdoch fan to be able to do it. Some of these fans know Murdoch and some don't, but they all have heard of him, and they're willing to join in any crusade that'll get him up off that canvas and put him into the unenviable spot of having to beat the champion. So the champ is ready. He comes in to drive that knee in there. He's top man. There's one. And Murdoch did a quick turn and rolled out from underneath. Reverse chinlock. And the champ stays right tight in there and pulls away at the head of Dick Murdoch. Murdoch underneath. Those arms moving. The fans almost caught the rhythm of it. He's looking around for something to grab. Nope. That set of knuckles that up against his jaw. Painful way of impressing him, I'll tell you that. Now, Murdoch was looking for an opportunity to throw that fist of his into the midsection of the champion, but it didn't quite work out that way. Murdoch is caught. Reverse chinlock is the hold. Big man applying it. That means he's able to put weight in there, able to push from behind on the head, able to pull in with that big solid arm of his, and it's an uncomfortably difficult position to find yourself in. at any stage of a match. So Murdoch moving around, trying to get into a defensive position, trying to make it more difficult for the champion to apply that hold. And now snatched him back and sets him down. We've got a great crowd, a tremendous crowd here at the Sam Houston Coliseum tonight. And they are seeing some of the action for which the Coliseum is famous, as the home of wrestling in Texas and the home of Houston wrestling in particular. And here comes the champion. He got him in the jaw. He didn't go for the midsection. He decided that if he was going to get a wallop at all, he'd get him right smack in the jaw. So Murdoch stands up to the champion. He's got him hooked in the nose part of the mask. You see him now controlling him as though he had a ring in his nose. And Murdoch measuring him. He measured him perfectly. As Murdoch now, Murdoch caught a thumb in the eye that time, and close or right on the target. It's a tough thing to take. A quick swing, and he reverses it, and down goes Tony Olivas. And on the outside, it's Eddie Gilbert who tripped Murdoch, but that left him open for the blow from the rear, and here is Gilbert. And Gilbert missed and hit his man with that stick, and now we've got the stick going in all directions. And there's the referee, just got back in the ring, and there's one, there's two, there is three, and Dick Murdoch has made his return to Houston wrestling successful. Dick Murdoch of Waxahachie teaches the masked champion a lesson, and now he's about to teach the manager a lesson. That's it. They played the Marine hymn when he came into the ring tonight. They ought to play it now when he's going out. A great win for him. But this is a non-title match. A non-title match, and Murdoch is a proud winner of a non-title match. And that's the way it is here at the Coliseum.